All right, we're here. Welcome everybody to What's NXT for August 14th, 2019. I am the Cleaver, Colin Andrew, and tonight you see a familiar face. That is the General Jerry Slaughter. Jerry, how was your trip to the Great White North?
Oh, it was excellent. It was our first time out of the country. The people were great. Food was excellent. And we got to see some great matches. Got to meet Finn Balor on the street just out of nowhere, so that was really cool. But the crowds for TakeOver Toronto, the crowds for SummerSlam, they were both very unique. But the crowd for TakeOver was just insane. You could tell where the true fans were, and like it was just an amazing, amazing watch. So,
hell yeah, man. Well, tonight we are getting what happened at TakeOver, basically, but we're getting the dark matches from NXT TakeOver Toronto 2. Tonight we are getting the finals of the Breakout Superstar Tournament. We are getting a return of a NXT tag team, if you want to call them so. So we're going to get started with that. We get started tonight with Fandango and Tyler Breezango, for the first time tag teaming together in NXT in how long, going against the Forgotten Sons, Wesley Blake, and what's his name? Not Riker. Not Riker. No. What's the third one? I'm forgetting right now.
That would be
Shane Cutler.
Cutler and Wesley Blake.
Yeah, Cutler and Blake. So,
they had their names sewn on them. So that's the reason.
Yeah. I've been saying it in my head all morning, and then when it comes down to say it, it just blanks. No, this match, as you saw last week on NXT, Fandango made his return to help out his buddy, or 2 weeks ago. Sorry. So made his return to help out Tyler Breeze, who was getting beat down by the Forgotten Sons after he pinned Jackson Riker. There he is. So we get this hot match. Fandango and Breezango come out to I thought it was a great pop. It's been a while since you heard the music. Gary, you were there live, so what was your take on it?
Well, the second the music hit and the fingers went up in the air and people were just going nuts for it. It was a great time. I wasn't expecting to hear their theme music, but I guess it makes sense at least for a first match back, because I know they're going to try to reinvent themselves in some way, shape, or form and kind of distance themselves a little bit more from being an angle group to an actual wrestling group again. But they look good, and the crowd just went nuts. It was more or less homecoming for them, and they knew that they're about to see something special because it was their first match reunited, and we also got to see them go against one of the top tier teams in the company at this point, and see if they translate just as well as they did on main roster as they do here.
I thought this was a great match. We saw Jackson Riker get involved and eventually get ejected from the match. Obviously, we all knew that was going to happen eventually. They can't play the three-man team all the time without getting busted. So, I don't know.
It almost became like a running bet in my head of when Jackson Riker was going to get ejected from ringside. Because granted, it wasn't a TakeOver match, but it was a TakeOver pre-match. So I wanted to make sure. So I was like, okay, this is going to end fairly, hopefully. So.
Yeah. We saw really great offense and defense from Breezango. I don't know what they hit at the end for their finisher, but it was like, so Fandango's on the outside of the ropes, and he jumps over the ropes. It hits some type of elbow drop or something onto
Tyler Breeze's knee.
Yeah, on the Breeze's knees, as I believe it was Wesley Blake being held just like that. And it looked real. It was real nasty. We saw Frankensteiner. We've seen, it was just a really good opening match to a takeover to an NXT after a takeover. Because if you look at the formula, folks, takeovers after NXT or NXTs after takeovers are always either 2 matches in a bunch of video packages or a big opening segment, video package, 1 match at the end. So if you break it down, that's the physics to NXT after takeover event. So there's 26 of them you can go back through and watch.
That gives them plenty of time to edit anything they need to do for Full Sail or get stuff underway for that. So the way they record them and everything is actually pretty masterfully done in that sense. But otherwise, the fact that we have to wait 3 months for a show that they did like a month ago, that's almost torture.
Yeah, especially if it gets spoiled for you on the internet, and then you're like sitting there like, oh man, how did this play out? I just want to see how this happened. And then you just got to wait and wait and wait and wait and wait. That's one thing I wish that they would do.
Both Stefan and Noah are able to stay spoiler free for the most part. So for them to, do that, they have to pretty much detach from wrestling community in general. But that's hard to do with me because I'm over here like reposting our videos or anything else like that, and I'm trying to get us out there. But at the same time, so many spoilers that and sometimes they'll just post pictures, and I'm like, okay, I know what that means. That doesn't help with you saying spoiler zone.
Well, it doesn't help either when the wrestlers spoil it themselves. Like, what was it? When Alexander Wolf joined Imperium. He physically put those pictures out on Twitter. So, and I believe Instagram too, probably. But he's the one who spoiled it for the fans, not the fans. He did.
Yeah. WWE.com even did, which I thought was insane. They were already posting about it on their website. They hadn't said anything about it on live television or anything yet, but they were already posting that he had left, but then all of a sudden he was popped up in NXT UK. So.
Yep. And we didn't see that for what, another 3 or 4 weeks?
Yeah. It was quite some time.
Because you and I found out and we talked about it and we kept that shit from Stefan for a long time. I remember you can go back to certain episodes of the NXT party and you and I, something gets brought up and you and I just make eye contact through the camera and just kind of make a notion that we know what the hell's going on.
It was very Jim from The Office. Like we would just go like,
big tuna in the house. So, all right, back to NXT for this week. Obviously, Breezango picks up the pinfall after a nasty, I want to say like a catapult knee break, catapult backbreaker elbow. That's basically the best way I can break this down. Good to see them. Hopefully, we get to see a little more repackage come through for Breezango. I wish they would just change his name back to Johnny Curtis. Johnny Curtis and Tyler Breeze. Whatever. We all know Johnny Curtis from NXT before he came to the main roster and did his whole Fandango thing. We know the true
athlete. Even before then.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we all know the great athlete that Tyler Breeze is when given the opportunity. Keyword there is when given the opportunity. So, moving on in our segment, we get a video package highlighting the Triple Threat North American Championship match between the Velveteen Dream defending against Roddy Strong and the Bruiserweight Pete Dunne from TakeOver Toronto 2. Jerry, you were there with Stefan. So what were you guys thinking during this match at the show?
We already knew we were getting something special with this match, but we didn't realize what else we were going to get with that. So I was also sitting with Noah Foster and Virtue, like side by side with me as well, who we ended up doing the recap video with. And Virtue brought up something that I thought was really interesting, which is there wasn't really a lot of breaks for the wrestlers in it. Usually you have that one guy that sits outside for like maybe 6 or 7 minutes and catches his breath. The only person that really did anything remote like that was Velveteen Dream, but he usually got dropped with something pretty fierce. And he would go back into the ring like not even 2 minutes later, break up a count, and get right back into it. People were hitting spots. People were hitting their moves. There's a lot of double team action going on, a lot of back and forth, and it was just beautifully, masterfully done, I thought. It almost stole the show. Almost. But for Velveteen Dream to win, that just made sense to me. Because I already had in my head that Pete Dunne and Roderick Strong were more hell-bent on proving who was better out of the two and better served to be champion, that they forgot that the champion was even in the match. And that was the big selling point for Velveteen Dream, and that's why I ended up picking him for the prediction as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember you brought that up in our predictions video for it. So, like those exact words, folks. So, one thing that I was kind of upset with the match was the fact that Pete Dunne took the pinfall. It was his first match in NXT, or it was like second match, sorry, in NXT after he came back and interjected into this feud. He just came off a 685-day reign as a United Kingdom champion, and then the fact that he went from NXT to NXT UK or NXT UK to NXT, and this is his, first NXT takeover since War Games when he was a part of the War Raiders, team, against the Undisputed Era. And if they weren't going to have the Undisputed Era take all the gold, they should have all taken the pinfall, in my opinion.
Well, the only way I could actually rationalize this in any way, shape, or form is it sets up for a singles match between Roderick Strong and Velveteen Dream. It's like, you didn't beat me in that match, okay? You did not defeat me. You defeated Pete Dunne. So that way he could also say that he does not hold a pinfall over Roderick Strong, and that he feels cheated in the fact that he wasn't even in the decision. He was number one contender for the match, and he got thrown in at the last second, or Pete Dunne did.
Yeah, I can see that. Pete Dunne also cut a promo that he's not done with the Velveteen Dream, that he's coming for that championship, that he was robbed of that championship, he deserves that championship. So, either way.
I don't understand his obsession with the North American title. I mean, he's Pete Dunne. You think he'd want to be on top of the world and going after Adam Cole versus going after Roderick Strong and have the main title there?
Yeah. I don't know. I really don't understand that either.
That's leather the belt. Maybe he's got some sort of world title allergy. I don't know. But
well, he was Progress champion forever a day.
Maybe a secondary belt is what he's going for, but at the same time, he wants a world title belt. That's the way to go about it right now.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he's trying to just kind of climb the ladder a little bit, take the secondary, dominate there, and be like, look, I beat everybody else under me and now I'm coming for you, or do something like that, or I don't know, maybe he's just trying to establish dominance in a different way. I mean, there's nothing wrong with trying to go after the North American Championship. I mean, it's a prestigious title, kind of. It's being built to it, I guess, as long as it doesn't flip-flop. But, hey, how cool, because maybe people think that title's not as established as it should be, maybe Dunn gets it, and hey, we get another 2-year run. You know, he puts that title over, like he did the UK title. He put that title over.
That'd be great because it was tossed around like a hot potato for a bit there between.
Oh God, yes, Ricochet and Adam Cole, and then what? Who else got it? It's just, it's yeah. I think who has the longest reign with it right now? Dream. When did Dream pick it up? I don't remember.
Dream picked it up on a TV taping against Johnny Gargano.
That's right. And, so yeah.
It was a big surprise to all of us because it was Johnny Gargano's first title defense, and he
just won it. Yeah,
and he had literally just won it. Like I think that last week, which means he had held on to it for like seemingly like 3 months.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see what happens down the line with these three gentlemen in this scenario. So moving on from there, we get a recap of the NXT Breakout Tournament. So this is a highlight pack. This is the same highlight pack we saw from last week. They just introduced everybody. We had the first round highlights, second round highlights, and then boom, we get the finals, which is Jordan Wild and Cameron Grimes for our main event tonight. The same repack is the same repackage they've been playing for the last like 2 weeks. They just added the semifinals to it last week and played that 100 times. And I'm sure everyone has seen that package at the TakeOver event or during the TakeOver event or whatever. So there's really no reason to go over that again because it's just video packages left and right.
Yeah.
So moving on, we get, guess what? Guess what, Jerry? Guess what we get?
What?
Another video package!
You give me your package! You give me your package! Everyone gets a video package!
So we get highlights from the tag team title match from TakeOver, which was the Street Profits, which was Antonio Dawkins and Montez Ford against Red Dragon, Kyle O'Reilly, and Bobby Fish. This match was great, honestly, all the way around. Street Profits put on a hell of a show. I was really not expecting them to hold on to the tag titles because they've been on Raw for like 4 weeks now. And then weren't they on SmackDown, I think, too, this week? So
I believe they're on both, just floating back and forth right now until they find a home.
Yeah. So this match was awesome. And this match kicked off the event. Kicked off the main card.
Yeah. But that's more case of the general's order prevailing, which if I haven't said enough times, 5 for 5 people. First time I've actually done anything like that. Plus the my order of the match is happening. So somewhere in this video, hopefully, you're gonna see the repercussions of what happens when you bet against the general order. I'm not gonna drop what happens. You'll just see it for yourself. Don't bet against me. It does not end well for you. So, you won't want to miss it. But match itself, I thought, was extremely well done. You had Street Profits ready to prove themselves because they're one of the very few homegrown teams in NXT. These other guys, they've come up from the independents and whatnot and been trained more in a WWE style. These guys came up from the Performance Center and have worked really hard to get where they're at. And all they needed was that opportunity. They got it. They took it. They ran with it. And they got the belts. Did you honestly think on their first title defense at a TakeOver, at a massive one before SummerSlam, that they were going to lose the titles? Undisputed Era draped in gold, whatever, that was going to be a great storyline. But continuing that, especially if they plan on keeping the Undisputed Era down there for a while, they can't have them draped in gold just yet. They need to either milk it or possibly show some sort of breaks in the foundation again. the best way to make the moment feel that much more spectacular is to put the gold in their grasp, have them lose that opportunity, then go back after it again, or maybe even like switch up leadership or switch up the program in some way, shape, or form. But before the match even started, we had a whole bunch of ushers running out, and we saw like the red cups being handed out to everyone down there, and like a lot of people were like, "What's going on down there?" I'm like, "It's like the red cups are being handed out." They're like, "For what?" I'm like, "Street Profit."
Nice.
So automatically, I knew I was going to be in good shape with that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So after we get the highlight package, we get a post-match interview with Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, and Bobby, I can't remember who was interviewing him. Like Kathy, maybe, or doesn't matter. And she's like, Undisputed Era said that they were going to be draped in gold, and Bobby's like, I know what we said. We are Undisputed Era. I know what Adam said. I know what Kyle said. Look, we were batting lead off on this thing, and we dropped the ball, or it didn't go our way. And then Kyle's like, I want to see in the rule book where it's illegal to pin an illegal man, because Bobby made a tag, and they show video footage of right before Kyle O'Reilly getting rolled up for the pin or whatever. He makes a legal tag. Bobby Fish hits him right here on the chest while holding the rope. Bobby Fish was the legal man. So they're asking where William Regal's at. So I'm assuming we're going to see this match again. And I don't know until what they figure out with the Street Profits, what they're doing. I can see them losing the tag titles on a TV taping.
What I can see at this point now we've actually started mentioning this, is a winner-take-all 6-man tag match. Those 3 members versus Velveteen Dream and the Street Profits. And then that way they all win the belts in one lump sum, and then they can celebrate that way. That way, Velveteen Dream and the Street Profits both lose their belts in that match. Roderick Strong possibly gets the pinfall on Velveteen Dream that he's been coveting, and Street Profits are able to move up. Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly get their belts, and maybe even have Adam Cole surprisingly lose his belt somehow in the midst of all that. And then they're all with gold and he's without. So, and that's when they get cocky and decide that Adam Cole doesn't need to be in the group. It's like, it's only when we win for ourselves and stop listening to you that we got the belts. And look at you now, no gold.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. So after this, we get a highlight of Io Shirai and Candice LeRae from TakeOver. It's just highlights a video package of how Io Shirai has become the new Io Shirai. We get a little behind the scenes interviews from Candice, because this was her first TakeOver match. So we get those highlights, those little promo cuts. She's excited to be here and what she's going to do to Io Shirai. And then Io Shirai says her, but sometimes I don't pay attention to all the subtitles, folks. So didn't really catch what she was saying, but basically she's done being everyone's friend. She doesn't need anybody, and she's here to kick ass. So that's basically what we get. And in the third segment here, we get the recap from Shayna Baszler versus Mia Yim.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's when the show kind of cooled off a little bit in the arena, and you can kind of tell. Somebody else Virtue had brought up was the fact that it seems like they have something against Shayna Baszler, because she usually cools down to people before the main event. I'm like, that's just her match style. That's the way she operates. And my main thought on the Io Shirai match with Candice LeRae is it pretty much stole the show. It was the match I didn't think should have been on the show, but being on the show, and I was so glad it was. I even before when they started showing the recap bit or the video package for it, I went out to the concession stand and got myself a collector's cup. It was $12, but it was a lot cheaper than like paying $7 for like a fountain drink or a bottle of Coke. Because it's something
and you normally get a free refill with one of those too.
Not the day free refill, just free refills the entire time you're at that event.
Oh, nice. See, I got one refill.
But yeah, it was. I only got the one for NXT because, frankly, it was the show I cared about.
And that's why we do this show.
Oh yeah, it's all about quality over quantity. We got 5 matches on that show. We got like 10 on the other show, but this one was still way over.
You got like 12. You got like 12 on SummerSlam because those 2 matches were added.
Theoretically, we got 7 on the TakeOver show. Like when we saw them, and they still stomped a mud hole. So yeah, it was great.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know what's next for Mia Yim after this. I'm not too big on her, honestly.
I don't think really anybody is. I think she's really being forced.
Except Keith Lee. He's the only one big on her because they're dating. But yeah, that's. I don't know what comes next for her. I really don't care. Maybe try to repackage her somewhere because this whole HBIC ghetto trash thing isn't working.
I think the gimmick is working just fine, but it's the fact that she's playing up the gimmick so much versus like showing what she can do more in the ring to these like people because she's no slouch. She's a veteran in her own right, but she just her style is not working, and the way she's trying to handle these matches is not working. Like, there's not one point in that match where I was like, "Oh, Mia Yim's totally gonna win the belt here." I was already screaming 5 for 5 when when like she even hit the ring. So, but I couldn't get into that match very much. I knew Shayna Baszler was going to win, but watching Shayna Baszler win, that was more gratifying because she didn't need Duke or Shafir to do it.
And the fact that she choked the bitch out with her legs.
Oh yeah,
that was dope. So, shockingly enough, we get another video package. Dum dum. This time it is for the 2 out of 3 falls match for the NXT Championship. Johnny Gargano trying to get his title back from Adam Cole. And the first fall was a third fall, which, all right, so we talked about this. I wanted a cage match initially, but I didn't want it to be spoiled for anybody. But during the frickin' pre-show, what does he announce? What does William Regal announce?
Yeah.
A weapons cage match, basically? I didn't hear the exact word for it, but.
Well, he didn't announce it during the pre-show. We had no idea. We were sitting there, and all we saw was the cage up in the air, but it was draped with a curtain. And you had these guys in the front row taking the pictures under the cage and posting them to the media groups and whatnot. So we knew it was a cage match. We just didn't know a whole bunch of shit was going to be attached to the cage. Mm-hmm. And that was my selling point. I thought maybe we were going to get our first ever Hell in a Cell type match at an NXT TakeOver, like their own version of Cell. But we ended up getting almost like a House of Fun match.
Fun. Yep.
And
match, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, and it turned into a very awesome match, I thought. It was a great finish. It could have been like a I'm not going to say a boring steel cage match, but the inclusion of all the weapons and everything made it that much more special. So, and the crowd reaction for when that cage was getting lowered, like you had almost everybody chanting "Holy shit!" or like, "What the fuck is going?" Oh! I thought it would have been great if Adam had Adam Cole and Johnny Gargano. Like you saw Adam Cole's face, it was like almost like desperation. You saw Johnny Gargano's face, and he was just elated with this thing. He's like,
"Oh, thank God!" Yep, because we got a. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. But that kind of like gives Adam Cole more of that Superman feel. The fact that he can't even be destroyed by conventional weaponry.
Right. No, I was watching it. I was watching the event, and we got a promo from William Regal, and it announced it. And that, I believe, was before 7 o'clock because I was.
We didn't even get that
work. So, okay, might have just been a thing to have people tune in because you guys are already there. So,
well, I think it was the fact that we already been spoiled by the steel cage, and he didn't want us not knowing about the weapons match. That way, there was still that huge pop when the cage got lowered. So, yeah. I'm glad they didn't do that.
Yeah. So, what did you think of the Matt Riddle, Killian Dane incident at TakeOver? That's our next segment here.
I was extremely pleased with that. I knew there was a chance that there was at least going to be some sort of mention of it or some sort of attack. I was hoping it would turn into a match, but then I saw the referees and security come out, and I was like, okay, we're not getting a match out of this, but it was still cool to see. And also add the fact that Matt Riddle was in attendance, which means he was in Canada, which means he could have popped up at SummerSlam and started more shit with Goldberg, but live. So I thought that would have been great to see as well. But watching him fight off all the security and watching him fight off the referees and whatnot, it was just a really cool treat. And it was right in between, I believe, Shirai and the triple threat match, I think it was. So that was a nice little bridge. It was a nice little bridge to that next match. So
yeah, I was happy with the segment. I remember when we did our predictions video, I was really hoping to see something with those two on the card because they deserve to be on the card. This feud's been awesome so far, and it's only been just sneak attacks. That's it. So we get that match announced for next week. So next week we're going to get Killian Dane versus Matt Riddle. So that's something to look forward to. And something to look forward to.
First match is back at Full Sail. So, yeah, that's going to be a stacked card.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll be back in Full Sail next week. Everything will be good to go. One thing that bugs me, though, is when they film these at TakeOver events, and we obviously know they're at a TakeOver event. They don't even try to hide the fact at all that it's a TakeOver event. And you have Nigel saying, "Oh yeah, here in Toronto," and this, that, and the other. That's just one thing I wish they would work on a little bit if they're going to make it. Try not to look like an NXT event.
Yeah.
It's.
Well, they announced it right at the beginning. It was a special taping for NXT television for us, and I think they're treating the fans smart enough that they know that they're watching the dark matches from the Toronto stuff. But at the same time, yeah, they need to go ahead and stop mentioning it. Just say it's a very special episode of NXT, and people are going to watch it regardless because it's NXT wrestling. It's like don't try to make a big deal about it. Don't make it feel new. Just present the matches as they are and go from there.
Mm-hmm. I absolutely agree. So in our main event tonight, or last night actually, we had the finals of the breakout tournament. Cameron Grimes, aka Trevor Lee, against Jordan Miles. I know my pick and Jerry's pick were both Cameron Grimes from the beginning. I've been waiting for him to do something since the first day I saw Trevor Lee got signed to WWE. So that dude was phenomenal in the Indies, phenomenal impact when he was his X Division title run was awesome. The kid's great. That's all I can say about him. But this match was actually a very good match. Jerry, you were there live to see that as well. So how did that feel watching that before you knew it was going to be aired on TV?
It was something really special because I thought they were going to save the Breeze Angle match for like the main event because they're more established and whatnot. But this actually made the breakout tournament feel a little bit more important. Was the fact that okay, this is going to round out the dark matches, which means this is going to be a great match. And sure enough, that's exactly what we got. Like these two put on a hybrid, what I call a hybrid clinic, because you had a lot of high flying, you had a lot of submission spots, you had a lot of striking, everything that you want in, we'll call it a modern wrestling match, you got with these two. And you can tell that either one of them deserved their spot in the company. Granted, I saw the bandages around Jordan Miles' knee, and I was like, they're gonna work on that a lot, but I got a feeling Cameron Grimes is not going to win this match just because of that. They're going to get that, almost underdog kind of feeling because Cameron Grimes, he's not a big dude, but the guy's a monster in that ring.
Yeah.
So he's very much like your Bruiser Brody or almost like Berserker trained by the Hardys, but like he's a mini Berserker.
The Southern Bruiser.
Yeah, he's a berserk.
Always. Constant professionals, everybody. Constant
professionals.
So, no, I thought this match was a really good match to see the ending of it. We saw Jordan Miles playing possum near the end. So Trevor Lee, what is Trevor Lee? I need to stop calling him Trevor Lee. It's just out of habit. So it's just,
habit, dude. It's understandable. Don't even worry about it. But Cameron Grimes is one of the better names that we got out of everybody.
Yeah. Like, who the hell's Boa? Like, what? Okay. But, so Grimes manages to power slam Miles near the end. He gets a 2 count. And then he plays the whole, my knee thing. My knee gives out. He goes to whip him into the corner, and he stops and stalls in a seated position in the corner and goes, no. And this is the part where Cameron Grimes is like, oh, crap. He's just messing with me. And
so hard for that in the arena, and it was just a beautiful, beautiful moment.
Yep. He whips him he gets a brainbuster followed by his Midnight Storm 450 splash, and we get a 1, 2, 3, and Jordan Miles is your breakout star tournament winner. He goes up the ramp celebrating. You see General Manager William Regal come out with a folder. It says NXT on it, and that's obviously his Money in the Bank.
He used the regular contract and the title shot whenever he wants it. So that's a pretty important envelope.
Yeah. So, we get that. That's what we get going off the air, is him celebrating at the top. He's happy, this, that, and the other. I'm hoping to see something, because I know he has a credible resume outside of WWE too. I just don't really know him all too well. I think he was like ACH or something like that before he came to WWE.
He was Utah Nation, and
he was.
Yeah. No, he was ACH. You're right.
Yeah.
Like Jerry's brain's not functioning. He hasn't had coffee yet, but yeah, he was ACH beforehand.
Yes. So we'll see what goes on with him. Obviously, I see him for some reason challenging Velveteen Dream. I don't see him going after Adam Cole. I don't. I mean, if they want to, cool, but is this the guy you're going to put over? Is this your next guy? Like, answer me honest. Is this your next guy?
No, you do.
Yeah.
I don't see him going after either one. I see him finding a tag team partner and making a run at the tag belts. Because like otherwise, like if there's a title match for any other belt in the company, I see him going for a 205 Live belt and going after Gulak. But since it's got to be an NXT title, I can see him finding a partner. Maybe somebody with the power and strength and charisma that, could help him propel him against the Street Profits. If he found a partner like that, I mean, the possibilities would be, infinite.
Yeah. So since he brought up Drew Gulak, I see Johnny Gargano going after Drew Gulak because obviously Johnny Gargano had his send-off Sunday. So if he's not coming to the main roster, he's going to 205 and he's going after Gulak. So
they're trying to say that like it's not his last match in NXT, but if it is, kudos to him. He went out like in a blaze of glory, more or less. So
I don't understand how that would not be his last match in NXT because look, he has done everything there. He's the first Triple Crown champion. He's, the last, 2 or 3 attempts he's lost trying to get his title match. And they've been 2 out of 3. They've been 2 out of 3 falls.
Yeah.
So you've lost 4 times. There's nothing else for him to really do there.
Because that's what you do in WWE. You fail upward.
Twisted shit, but it works, I guess. I don't know. So that is the end of our episode for What's NXT. This is cool doing it with you. Last week I did it with Chris Mace.
Yeah, speaking of that guy.
Yeah. If you want to fill us in on that wager there so you can see what the folks are going to be seeing here in a minute.
Well, he got a little cocky and told me if he got more picks out of me than the on the NXT TakeOver predictions, that whoever lost between the two of us would have to do the Carlton dance. And as I stated earlier, or like I said, I went 5 matches for 5, and my order prevailed. So you don't mess with the general order. You just don't.
So I went against it this time, and I didn't do so hot. So I lost my title to him. So
speaking of the general, we usually wrap up every NXT program with the 5-star general rating for the main event of the show. So I'm going to go ahead and ask you first, even though you're the host. You're the host. Remember this. What out of 5 stars? What would you give the main event, the breakout tournament?
Well, I personally would give it 4 stars. Just because it was entertaining. These 2 young men went out there and did their thing in front of an amazing crowd. Probably the biggest crowd they've been in front of in a long time. So I'd give it 4 stars, but I'm not going to go another quarter because of the quality of show that we had, because this was a video package. There was a video package sandwich, basically. We had a match, a bunch of video packages, and another match at the end. So it was a video package sandwich. But coming off of the great show from Saturday, I will give it another quarter star. So I'm going to go 4 1/4 star.
Yeah. Well, me being there live, it automatically gets 4 stars because like the match was spectacular. The card placement for it was perfect because it gave us a few seconds to digest it right before we went right into the takeover. So beforehand or like during the match itself, I got to explain to the man himself, Aaron Rift, the significance of this match and whatnot. He's more of the big brand guy, and that's why he's got me and Stefan. That's why he's got the NXT and whatnot doing these kind of shows. Is the fact that we love this product and we want to make sure people know about it. So then for him to get as invested into a match, he actually was watching it almost like spot for spot too. And it like watching Virtue get into the match and watching Caitlyn and Aaron just all down the line. Noah was sitting right next to me with Stefan, and they were having a great time with it as well. So, but this match was everything I hoped it lived up to me. I want Cameron Grimes to win. Absolutely. Am I upset that Jordan Miles won? No, because they both deserve what they got. They both deserve to be on the roster, and they're both going to be there regardless. How much TV time they're exposed to, or how many opportunities they get, that's to be seen. But like I said, I think I see Jordan Miles possibly teaming up with Keith Lee, gives him something to do. And can you imagine that team against the Street Profits? Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford, that mixture of strength and agility versus Keith Lee and Jordan Miles. If anybody takes the Street Profits belt and make it an upset, even if you want to call it that, because those two are actually more established from the indie scene than Street Profits actually are from being in NXT. So I see Street Profits even dropping the belts at NXT taping not too long from here, moving up, and those two being, credible faces to face off against the seemingly endless stream of heel teams that we have in NXT right now.
Yeah. Well, I like that idea. So we'll see how this plays out down the line. I'm assuming video tapings should be starting anytime soon for the next, a month and a half of NXT TV. So hopefully we see it all play out on a screen near you sometime soon. So with that being said, you got any plugs for me, man?
Well, you can find me on Twitter at NoDQGeneral and also on my Facebook group, Armbar, all capital, ARMBAR, ! And we have the Facebook group for that. And then our videos for mine and Stefan's shows, we have sometimes do a rated R report or whatnot. It's Aftermatch Wrestling, all word, AFTEAR, MATCH, Aftermatch Wrestling. And you can find us on there on YouTube, and you can find bonus content. And just go ahead and subscribe to that, and subscribe to NoDQ.com, because that's our bread and butter. That's what we do. I can't, off the top of my head, nail Stefan stuff, but I know you can, which is weird because I work with Stefan like every week. I'm still waking up. I got the other shift in. Usually we do a show right afterwards, but I didn't even watch an NXT broadcast. I didn't have to. All I needed were the exclusives to go off of, and that was it. So, because I was there live. I met Finn Balor on the streets of Toronto. I was there, damn it. So, if you want to do the rest of the plugs and your plugs.
Got it, man. All right, so you can find Stefan, the host of this show. I have just been filling in for the last couple of weeks. You can find him on Twitter at Stefan R. Osborne. That's STEFAN R, and then Osborne is OSBORNE. You can also find him on Instagram at osborne.stefan. And again, find them on their YouTube channel, Aftermatch Wrestling, AFTERMATCH Wrestling, where at 100 subscribers, they're going to go live for What's NXT on NoDQ.com. And at 1,000, they'll do the What's NXT party. At 100 for a day, and then we lost. And you guys lost a couple. I think you guys are at 98 right now. I think.
Yep. We had 100 for a day, and then 4 went away. So we're thinking it was some sort of troll who just wanted to see us go live just to get the pull us back off. But at the same time, I'm thinking what we're end up doing is wait till about just over 100. That way we make sure that we actually have the 100 subscribers, because that was kind of a kick to the nuts right there.
That was a real nut flick for sure. So help them get to like 104 subscribers.
Yep.
So go follow them there. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Colin26Andrew. You can support my YouTube channel, Colin26. Or no, that's my old one. So Colin Andrew, COLIN space ANDREW. So you can go find me there. You're probably going to watch this video first and then on NoDQ.com. So, and also speaking of NoDQ.com, support NoDQ.com.
Yes.
Support Aaron Rift and all the fine work him and Virtue and everybody else on the panel does. New panel video should be out probably today, or later this evening. So make sure you go check that out as well. We're gonna have some awesome content. We're gonna have some awesome content from the weekend's festivities on there. Check out Aaron Rift's YouTube page to see all highlights from the weekend. He put a montage video up of the No DQ meetup and all the cool things they did up there this past weekend. So over there and check that out. Yeah, the boys are in it. I was not there, but I was there in spirit. So you can also support NoDQ.com/shirts. Pick up some fine merchandise between ball caps. You can get sweatshirts, t-shirts, canvases, coffee mugs. Check it out.
Anything we put No DQ on at this point, we're putting No DQ on.
And you can get a sticker, and you can get stickers. So anything you want to put No DQ on, you can put No DQ on. So, so Jerry, this was fun. This was our first solo video together. So this was a good time.
You're my first Skype video from my phone.
So again, you can tune back in next week. You'll probably have the original cast back together. You went from one bearded fella to another bearded fella with another bearded fella. So catch us next time for What's NXT. Again, next week we have Matt Riddle versus Killian Dane, so that's something to look forward to. So for the General Jerry Slaughter, I'm the Cleaver Colin Andrew, and we will see you next time.
5 for 5.